You're talking about effective action, and effective action does require people to come together and work together. The thing is, again, you know, I come back to the Adam Smith thing. This is one of the things about the knowledge of the tax. It invites everybody to see an interest in this one thing, and taking that money away covers a lot of ground of what you're talking about. But I agree with you 100%, and so I'm a fan of a lot of the grassroots organizations that have.
But people also have to be able to get it in their head to take a stand.
Yes, they do. They absolutely do, and you know, we see what you know appears to be kind of an apathy today. I think that part of the problem is that the system that needs to, you know, the stand needs to be taken against has gotten really, really good at selling itself and marketing itself. And that's why there's this great opportunity with this narrative response situation, because it's crumbling around the edges. Dealing with what it's being obliged to deal with, dealing with a really raw and powerful truth, it's getting, you know, raggedy. The quality of that control of the narrative has gotten raggedy. But we need to take advantage. We need to take advantage of that, and that will make a difference. Absolutely, yeah. I want to thank you all for being here today. I want to again thank you all for being there yesterday. That meant a great deal to me, and I really appreciate it. It meant a lot to Doreen as well, it was a good thing.
I remember what I wanted to say.
I'm sorry?
I don't mean to interrupt. I remember what it was I wanted to say.
Oh, please go.
As I said, I get into a lot of arguments at truck stops, okay? And I would ask them, okay, maybe I'm crazy, but what if I'm right? What does it mean to you? And that usually won the argument.
Yeah, that's what I ought to.
I was like, take yourself 10 minutes and just look at it. Can you read? Take yourself 10 minutes. You can fill out a log, so I'm assuming you can read.
Yeah.
Just look at these two sections.
Yeah.
If you can explain those two sections to me, great,
yeah.
But you probably can't, and that's where it's headed.
Yep. Yeah, the reality is, you know, each person can look at their own experience and understand that, you know, at some point or another, you know, every one of you came to knowledge without it to begin with, and you found some way, or someone found some way of helping it make sense. And when it did, and you gave it the time and let it sink in, and did whatever due diligence you felt was necessary, did your research, did your verifications, you came away owning it, and you know, the same thing will happen with anybody else. It will happen with anybody else. People will each do it in their own time. They'll each do it on their own schedule, and as a consequence of their own, you know, what is necessary for them to take it in and own it. But they will. And
Pete, could I say something too?
Go ahead, Brian.
Yeah, I just wanted to, you know, you're imparting a significant body of knowledge, really. You know, and the way it is now, it seems as if you're, you know, you have all this knowledge, and there are a lot of us who have, because we've read and so forth, quite a bit of the knowledge, but nowhere near what you have. And it almost kind of calls out or cries out for almost like thinking, wow, you know, this is like scholarship or something. It's almost like we need a university. We need a people's university or something of that nature. Yeah. You know,
but they wouldn't touch it.
What we need is
some kind of educational structure. You know.
Well, this is, Brian, this is part of that liberation journalism. And one of the things that has always concerned me is that, you know, the work has been done, and it is scholarship, and yet, you know, it isn't in play where it needs to be in play. And I think that a large part of that is because everybody figures that somebody else is going to do this. I think everyone figures that I'll do this, that I have the opportunity and time and energy to not only do the research and the writing, but to also submit it to all the law libraries and you know, put it into the journals and communicate it into journalism and argue it out, you know, with everyone that, you know, cries out to be argued with, and all those things, and, you know, also, you know, fight the legal battles that have been, you know, I've been saddled with for 12 years now, and all those other things. And I'm not saying this, you know, complaining about, you know, my circumstances. What I'm saying is that it is a common syndrome to figure that someone else is taking care of stuff, but they're not.
What I mean,
and yet that would be the first step. I understand you were talking a broader,
well, I'm just saying
you know, a broader picture. That it would be nice to have
there's
you know,
a large body of people that are really, well, totally ignorant. And then there's a large body of people who are somewhat knowledgeable. That would be us, okay? But then there's nothing in between. You don't have any, you know, lieutenants or I don't know exactly the word.
I know.
Knowledge subordinates, but yet who are more, you know, train the trainer kind of thing. You know,
yeah, you know, I understand what you mean. They're actually are with you, but
and be kind of like a, you know. I'm just saying that's kind of sad that you have to do all this yourself.
But let me cut to the bottom line on that point, because again, I wasn't, you know, this is not a matter of, you know, it being, you know, a sad thing. So the sad thing is that the word isn't getting out there for whatever the reason may be. And the answer to that is all of you. Take that 16th Amendment paper, you know, which is up on the site, you know, documents/16.htm, and do, it's also there as a PDF, do give it to the law libraries. Give it to, there was a time when that was going on. You know, there were people that you know, would you know, send me an email all, you know, prior to the fact that they had gone and delivered, you know, a copy of CTC to the law library at, you know, their local university, for instance. And, you know, so there are actually a bunch of universities that have the thing. And there are, you know, a huge number that don't, of course, because this was, you know, when you all add it all up, you're talking about a handful. That kind of thing, and any one of you can do those things, and really need to, because otherwise it's not going to happen.